The Enugu state government has announced a traffic advisory ahead of the Nigerian Bar Association National Conference scheduled to hold in the state from Monday, August 25th to Saturday, August 30, 2025. According to the notice, keke riders, commercial buses, and private vehicles are advised to avoid certain restricted entry points during the week-long event to ensure smooth traffic management and security. The government listed the following routes as opened to all categories of vehicles: Presidential Road till First Bank, Bokati Junction, MSP Wani Timber, Maryland, ESBS Monkey Junction, ESBS to Loma Linda. Agric Bank Ike Kwemadu is also open. Agric Bank to Independence Layout Police Station, Bisala Road, Rangers Avenue Junction, Urban Stores through to Presidential Road, House of Assembly, Quarters Road through to Ogui Road, Obiagu, New Haven, Ogui Road, Abakaliki Road, Zeke Avenue, and Albani. No entry point. This is dicey, so just watch out for this. No entry point, no entry zone are these areas. The notice also listed areas that will be completely restricted to keke riders and other motorists from August 25th to 30. These include Sullivan Junction, Ruban, Niger Foundation Junction, Rangers Avenue, Cubana Junction by Rangers Avenue, Mbokiti Junction by Car Wash, IMT by Spa Junction, ESBS Junction, Agric Bank Junction, Toscana Junction are all access roads leading to Okbara Square. Motorists and commuters are advised to plan their movement accordingly and adhere strictly to traffic guidelines during the conference period. Authorities assured that the measures are temporary and aimed at ensuring the success of the NBA National Conference while minimizing inconvenience to road users. So I can only imagine the stress that people are going to be going through trying to commute to work. If you are coming from Loma Linda, if you're coming from Ugwaji, if you're coming from the Centenary City, if you are coming from, the Enugu Port Harcourt Expressway access, basically, you are going to be having a lot of problems navigating into town. I mean, we always have traffic. It's just a good thing that, the schools are not in session. And so it's just perfect, because if schools were in session, you can only imagine what's going to happen on that access. So we have over 11,000 lawyers coming into the state. If you know, Enugu State's a very, very, small city, if you would say. It's a small city, and not as large as you would say Abuja, or as large as Lagos, or even Port Harcourt. So that is the reason why even this entire hotels in Enugu are actually be booked. At least friends that I have across board are telling me, about the developments. Some are making huge amount of monies, and transporters are actually also going to make monies. Some persons even say to me that some persons are even renting their own apartment for that 1 week that they're going to be around, because hotels are not available and people don't want to book far away from the center of action, which is the International Conference Center. So because of that, some persons have given up their homes, at least for that week, so that somebody who's coming from outside the state could have some comfort. And after that 1 week, they are back to their homes. But it's not going to be for, small costs. You make some monies from there. And I also heard that a lot of persons will make a lot of monies from transportation, because people are going to be moving around a lot. I mean, the lawyers are going to want to move from one place to another. Are going to want to visit certain places, and they would need people who are going to run that errand for them, at least you be at their beck and call for the 1 week that they're going to be around. So it's a huge event. This is the very first time Enugu is hosting this event. Enugu has never hosted that event, because this event only happens in Abuja, Lagos, and Port Harcourt. Because of how big it is, because of how the number of persons who storm the city. So in order to be able to soak up the pressure, the Enugu State government is announcing this route closure. I think that's the best for the state, at least at the time, because you can only imagine how more than 11,000 persons are trooping into International Conference Center and going into Okpara Square, because I understand that they're going to set tents at Okpara Square because the number at the International Conference Center will not be enough. National Conference Center is huge, is big, yeah, but the amount that is being expected is going to double, if not triple, what the seat positions or seat capacity of the International Conference Center would be. We know we have more than 2 halls in that International Conference Center. Those 2 halls or 3 halls are actually not going to be enough. So they're looking to set a tent with a TV, a monitor, that would also help capture what it is that is going on in the main auditorium. So people who don't have the opportunity to sit right in the hall itself would have that opportunity to basically do the needful at the tent where they're going to be setting up at Okpara Square. So that's the reason why they're doing some restrictions, so you don't have a lot of issues, with commuting along that area. Imagine people, I know some people who will come with their own vehicles, at least states, people who live in Ebonyi, Imo, Port Harcourt, Anambra. There are people who would decide to come with their own vehicles, and so you can only imagine people coming with their own cars, and they're going to be parking in that area. It's going to be completely filled up. So they're looking to see a situation where they can minimize the combustion, or if you like, the traffic situation that would befall that zone. All right. So that is the reason for this closure. It's not like they're trying to do that to suffocate people or to take people out of jobs or take some people out of business, but it's just something that is needed in order for them, to be able to control whatever numbers that they're going to be expecting at this particular event. So because it's the first time Enugu is hosting it, and the Enugu state government is looking to do everything possible, to host and to be the best in terms of hosting. If you look at what has happened in the last few days, they have tried to, commission the CNG buses. They've tried to also get that on board, because they would also need that to move people around for a lot. They have also tried to commission a few places. I mean, at least patch up a few places. Did some beautification of the city, and I also know that they are going to open up the Hotel Presidential, the iconic Hotel Presidential that has been moribund for a long year now. And so this is the perfect time to open that hotel in order to, bring in people who are going to use it to kickstart the business of the presidential hotel. So this is part of the reasons why they're doing what they're doing, in order to be able to contain the amount of persons who are going to be flocking into town. And I just wish that the Enugu state government, hosts perfectly, because this is going to be the beginning of a good thing and great things to come. And if you are able to host the Nigerian Bar Association events in Enugu, I mean, it means you can actually host anything. We understand there are other events that are billed before the year runs out. A major event is coming up in November. I think it was one that was done. I think the one that Arts and Culture does every year. It's always hosted in Abuja and sometimes Lagos, but this time around they're bringing it to Enugu State. So that is going to happen. We also have the National Sports Festival doing their biannual sports program in Enugu that will happen next year. So there's a lot of events happening. So if Enugu is able to handle this amount of persons coming into the city without that pressure, without falling for the pressure that would come with it, then they would say perfect. I mean, any other thing can come in. The government can host anything. Anybody can host anything. This is actually one of the major reasons why the government of Enugu State is establishing the International Conference Center. They are not just doing International Conference Center. They are also doing road networks. They're patching up the roads. They are building new roads. They are reconstructing the roads across board. They just want the city to be, a little bit tighter, finer, and at least a place where people can come in and go out at any point in time and have their events and be safe at doing that. So tell me what you think. I'd love to hear from you. I know that it's going to cause a lot of inconvenience for a lot of persons, knowing that the routes that it's no longer the routes that you would use. You would have to use a longer route just in case you want to get to your destination. Keke are not going to be getting into some certain places, so it's going to be quite tough, at least for the week. So, but then I would say that it's just for that 5 days. Just hostess and hostess very well, and then that will open doors for other things. I mean, the hotels are fully booked. It's business for people. More people are being employed, are given jobs. People are also also ushers. In the event centers that are going to be using. People are going to be selling their food. People are going to be selling their materials and everything that they actually going to be selling there. People are going to sell a lot while these guys are around, because these guys are going to be needing a whole lot. Whether it's water you are selling, or you are selling soda, or whatever it is that you're selling, I'm sure that people are going to buy them all off. And this is also another opportunity. I mean, out of that 11,000, who knows, maybe it's a fraction, 5%, 10%, 15, 20% can decide, you know what, I like the city, it's cool. Some of them, I'm sure, may not have been here before, so the opportunity to come into the city and say, you know what, this is cool, let me see if I can get a house, invest in this state and expand the state further. So that is somewhat some advantage that the state would have when these people come and go. All right, tell me what you think. I'd love to hear from you as always. Thank you.